Welcome, wrestling friends, to another edition of Smarknado. I'm your host, Eric Druckmann. With me, as always, the Danaconda Dirty Dan Cesnant. Dan, how are you doing? It looks like you're making the United Empire symbol with your hands for those that are
It,
watching on video.
it just sort of happened that way.
Yeah,
But yeah, I was. How are you doing, first and foremost?
I'm doing great, man. This is, long story short, I had just told Dan that I might be getting my student loans forgiven fairly soon. So that's a
Yeah.
huge thing in my life
You,
that's going to be off my shoulders. And yeah, Dan, how are you doing, sir?
he went through all this process to get this done. I got mine forgiven by just not paying them.
All right. So you're telling me that you're in forbearance?
Oh, yeah. They send me emails and I send them fuck you emails back, and they never respond. So,
Wow.
we'll see.
Okay.
It'll catch up with me eventually, but I'm not paying them. I decided.
Interesting. All right. This is a little gem that I am just learning about Dan's life right now on the air. So
it's a bold strategy. It's a bold strategy.
It is a bold strategy, and brother, I would maybe just approach this a little less hostile and a little bit more. Hey, my situation. We can talk about this off air.
No, man, I'm a hostile dude. I put my foot down. But yeah, no, man, I'm doing good. I had early shift this week, so I'm a little bit out of it, a little bit loopy, a little bit tired, but we're here to talk wrestling. So I'm up, I'm awake, and let's
yeah, man. First thing I wanted to touch on is something that is really exciting to me. Yes, I predicted this, and I'm not like boasting about like this prediction as much as I am just happy with this being the result. Zack Sabre Jr. won the G1, man, and I'm so happy about it. I think that there isn't anyone that deserves it more. I think that he has been the best technical wrestler of the last like 10 years when you don't put Bryan Danielson in the conversation. He's fantastic and one of the best going today, and I think that he's going to be a great champion for New Japan, and I do not expect anything less than him winning the championship and holding it for a very long time.
How many G1 matches did you actually watch?
So I watched all of night one when it first happened, and then after that I kind of fell off a cliff. I was catching matches here and there. I did catch like a handful of matches that Access TV was putting out. Like I watched Gabe Kidd versus ZSJ. I did end up Gabe Kidd versus Shingo was a really good match that happened. And I was able to catch that. Takeshita would my priority is like going back and watching a lot of Takeshita matches that happen. Like I heard that him against ELP was like 5-star classic. Yeah, and I did watch the semifinals and finals of the G1, so or the quarterfinals as well. So I saw matches like Takeshita versus Yota Tsuji. I think that match was awesome just because like Takeshita took the first one from him, and Tsuji, he is battle tested in that he had won the New Japan Cup earlier in the year. And his storyline was like he was going to go and try to be the first person in New Japan to win both the New Japan Cup and the G1 in the same year. So like he had that going for him. So he overcame a lot to get to where he was in the finals. So the finals was Zack Sabre Jr. against Yota Tsuji. And yeah, and that was awesome. ZSJ actually versus Shingo was a great match too. That was a semifinal match. Yep.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the breakdown of it right now, and it looks like, I mean, they love Finley over there, huh?
Well,
he made it that far.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't really watch too many of his matches, but from everything I've heard, he had a really great performance, and he was like a great heel foil to all the babyface wrestlers that he faced.
Okay.
Yep. So I don't know. Maybe Finley is working I think it's just because like I think we kind of are dismissing Finley because of how like aggressive and out there Gabe Kidd is and how much attention he is taking in that
Yeah.
group. You know what I mean? Um, they actually have a new member of the War Dogs too that debuted in the G1. His name is Jake Lee. He was a champion in Pro Wrestling Noah. He was their champion for a
Okay.
bit. I think he was in All Japan before too. He's a big man wrestler. He's
Okay.
maybe like 6'8", something like that.
Jesus.
Maybe new Hikaleo we got going on here. But him
that's
and
a big
Gabe Kidd
hoss.
have been teaming up with each other.
Okay. All right. Well,
I think that might have been needed because of what happened with Coughlin.
Yeah, that's such an unfortunate, loss.
Did we ever? I know we're getting off topic here from my original G1 discussion with Zack Sabre Jr. But did we ever find out what happened with Alex Coughlin exactly, like why he had to retire?
I thought it was a neck injury or a back injury or something to that effect. It was a career-ending injury.
Must have affected like his spinal cord or something, if I had to guess.
Whatever it was, I mean, it was just it's really unfortunate.
And that kind of
dangerous business.
That pisses me off too, because the match that he got injured in was just the longest, most played out fucking 4-on-4 match. Like it had a lot of great moments and everything, but it went on for like an hour, maybe like over an hour. It was ridiculously long. It was unnecessary, and there were just a lot of stuff that happened in it. I don't remember where it happened. I mean, it was in New Japan.
Yeah, obviously. I just didn't know if it was a strong show or if it was.
I don't think it was a strong show. It was in New Japan, like proper. And it was like a 4-on-4 cage match between the United Empire and the War Dogs.
Oh, okay.
It was Osprey's like last.
Well, yeah.
New Japan.
Of course it's going to go an hour if that's the case.
Yeah. They were just, I don't know. I'm a little salty about his career ending with that, but just back to the matter at hand. Zack Sabre Jr. is actually planning on not challenging for the championship on January 5th at Wrestle Kingdom, January 4th, that is. He wants to challenge for it at the next show, so he will be able to walk into Royal Quest, which is the UK show for New Japan, as IWGP champion.
So he's challenging at the next show.
I think the next show, or like whatever the next big show is before Royal Quest. I can't really recall what like the name of the show that he's going to be challenging at.
I don't know.
But yeah, exciting times. I think that New Japan overall, for a company that has lost a lot of momentum over the last couple of years, I thought that this G1 overall has just like reinvigorated the company. And I'm very excited for the future. I mean, when you look at Yota Tsuji, he's part of that really young brass of wrestlers that have come in. The young lions, of most recent that have graduated into full-time wrestlers, between him, Shota Umino, and Ren Narita. Like the youth charge in New Japan is strong, and I think that it's a promotion to keep an eye on, and maybe we should try to get back into a routine of watching more of it. I know that their tag team tournament is coming up, the World Tag League.
The thing with it is, man, it's not accessible. Unfortunately, it's just not accessible to me that easily, right? Is it?
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is, and I will show you how.
Okay, I will take your word for it. Please don't be listening in SA. Well,
I didn't say anything, bro. I didn't say anything. I just told you I have a way that you can watch it. Talk to me after the show.
Okay, Eric. I will talk to you after the show.
All right. Okay.
All right.
So yeah, let's move on. This is a big week for AEW. as we know. All In is this Sunday from Wembley Stadium.
Can I pull you back a second? Because I just want to say that the show that Zack Sabre Jr. is defending on is going to be King of Pro Wrestling.
Cool.
October 14th.
Okay, great. Very
sorry
exciting.
to cut you off, but had a little go back
problem.
there. Just wanted to make sure that we got that out there.
Right on. But yeah, huge week right now for AEW. All In is this weekend. Our old asses are so happy that we have a pay-per-view on during the afternoon and we can go to bed at a reasonable time.
I get to watch the Chelsea game in the morning and then watch All In at noon. It's going to be a hell of a Sunday, brother. Good day.
Now, wait a minute. Is this the last Sunday before NFL kickoff?
Yeah.
Yes. Brother, this is like, oh my God. I love how everything is playing out right now.
It all falls
every
in line.
Sunday
Sometimes
going forward is going to be fire.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm really happy. Okay, great. Let's talk about Dynamite first from this week. First, we started off the show with a in-ring segment between Mercedes and Britt Baker. My initial inclination on this is like, I don't know if this is a good idea. Just, back and forth between these two to start the show, that is. I actually thought that this was one of the stronger promos from Mercedes, just for the fact that like she didn't really like fuck up or it wasn't as clunky really with her delivery. I thought that Britt really cooked when she was talking about Mercedes. I think that to me, she really capitalized on the reasons why I've become annoyed with Mercedes, and I'm sure others have too, for the fact that she was so inspirational. She was such like an amazing worker in the ring, but she's become so smug and arrogant and only cares about money and the vanity of it all, and it's just kind of like gross. But again, that's her character. I'm not gonna, dismiss that, but I thought that this was good back and forth between them. One of the better ones that we have seen. I did think that at the end, the, her attacking Camille and, the crossbody and stuff, I thought that was a little sloppy. If I'm being honest, I would have done that in a different way. I would have done something else, just not that. It was kind of stum.
Yeah, I mean, it took a minute to get going. I thought them sitting down, they should have just ended it when before physicality. In my opinion, that's probably how I might have booked it. You know what I mean? Like it didn't need any more going into the pay-per-view. I thought that there was enough prior to this. Just make it a straightforward promo segment and let it go.
Right. It didn't need physicality at all.
No.
But if they were going to do physicality, I wish that they would have kind of rethought what they were doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I didn't love the segment, but the both women did their thing. I said this in the chat and I still believe it today that I think that, Britt cooks her when it comes to mic work. In ring, I don't think that there's even a close comparison. Mercedes is far and away better. But in the promo...
Isn't it so weird that, and I've heard this said this week too, but, it's something that's kind of lingering on my mind. How weird is it that Mercedes is a bad promo? Considering that she's in the Mandalorian and shit, and she brought in her own she brought in her own writer, for this gig.
It's her voice, man.
It's a bit perplexing to me. You think it's
her
just
voice?
Her voice?
I do. I think it's her voice. I think she's got a very grating voice, and
her cadence is so not. She has that same annoying ass cadence that the Bellas had.
It's super nasally. It's I don't know. I just the content was there. Like I thought the content of her promo was really good. I just don't like listening to her talk.
Yeah. Agreed. All right. So next we had everyone's least favorite segment on the show, Chris Jericho against Dynamite Kid Tommy Billington. I just thought that this was a waste of time. And like
Complete waste of time.
I like Tommy Billington. I just don't think that like he was able to showcase enough of what he is capable of in this match. This was again just a vehicle for Jericho to take a big fat fucking dump all over the show like he always does every week. And I think everyone's getting sick of it. And it's just like, to me, it's like, why? Like, Big Bill is facing Hook when? Wasn't that supposed to happen? Saturday?
Yeah.
Like, why isn't that the match that's like, does Jericho have to fucking be on every fucking, like, he's already got a match on Sunday. You know, like the fact that Big Bill and that was the thing that was lingering with me. Big Bill and Brian Keith were just walking out, and like Chris Jericho is the one that's fucking wrestling against this kid who can go, you know. And it's like,
I thought it was going to be another one of those Action Andretti scenarios where he was going to pull off the upset, truthfully. And if he had, just like I thought there was going to be a Hook interference where, you know, Dynamite could just get a quick roll up and call it a day, which would have, you know, made the segment that much better. But instead, it was Jericho going over as he tends to. Even though I just said that about Action Andretti, I still don't think he, you know, is particularly giving when it comes to eating pins. So
no. All right, you know, this match just led to Hook coming out, confronting Jericho, and then, you know, Big Bill takes out Hook, and it's going to lead into Collision on Saturday.
Yeah.
Whoop-de-doo. All right, next we had, for the Women's World Championship, Toni Storm defending, very surprisingly, I don't even know, was this advertised? I don't even recall. Her against Saraya. And, you know, for the fact that like Saraya is from there, this made from England at least, the area. I don't know. I'm probably offending
the region. We'll call it the region.
The region. So I guess the booking makes sense.
Yeah, except there was
the thing that really like
for her.
The part of the match that really rubbed me the wrong way is Toni Storm did what a lot of people kind of associate Johnny Saint with, like did like a grappling. Do you know what I'm talking about? She did like kind of a world of sport, like leapfrog. You know, I don't even know how to like really put it into words. Like Cole Cabana used to do stuff like that. I think it really suffered from Saraya not being able to keep up. And that just like rubbed me the wrong way, and I rolled my eyes at it, and like I don't fault Toni for it at all, really.
That was the exact point where I texted you that Saraya is neither a good wrestler nor person. That was the exact moment.
Yeah.
So yes, I recall that very vividly because it made me angry, because I was like, oh, this is cool. Oh wait, it's still Saraya.
Yes. That shit's right up my alley. Like that stuff is really, really cool when it's executed well. But you have to have a good dancing partner, and Saraya's not a good dancing partner. And we were talking about it in the group chat. I really do hope that Toni comes to his senses and is just like, Saraya, I just don't think we're going to renew your contract. This isn't going to work. You can pursue interests elsewhere. See ya.
Best luck in your future endeavors.
Yeah, because I think that Toni kind of needs to look at this roster when certain contracts are up and just really try to think to himself, do we really need this person? And I think that Saraya has been, for the most part, a failed experiment.
It was fun at the beginning. I thought it could be good. It faded for me very quickly. I'll say that much.
Yeah. All in all, though, I thought that this match was fine. I didn't necessarily think it was bad.
It kind of sucked.
Even though there were some rough moments in there, Tony got the win, of course. And then, as expected, Mariah May came out and took out Tony with the shoe, and that's going to lead us into Sunday. And yeah, that should be a really interesting match. We'll talk about it when we preview All In. All right, so Renee was backstage with the conglomeration, everyone's favorite ragtag group of guys. You know,
another Briscoe promo that's gold. Whatever. I don't care what he says. Let him say it.
We'll just leave it at that. Yes. So face to face next between MJF and Ospreay. Wow, this was fire to me.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't understand a fucking word that Ospreay said.
I don't care. He was super duper over with that crowd, and he could have said anything.
He did say anything. I heard bell end, and I know that means dickhead. So
yeah, and MJF is certainly a bell end. You know, they had this back and forth with each other. You know, MJF kind of like lamenting on the fact that, you know, superstars of the past and prior world champions and real great wrestling analysts have said that he is undisputedly like the best wrestler in the world. And then, you know, comes at Ospreay for saying that who thinks you're the best in the world. And I thought he was going to go Meltzer with that, but he went with the fans, and he was like, you know, what do the fans know? Great heel heat, whatever. I thought that this was a lot of really good drama here.
I mean, my favorite part of the whole thing was when, you know, MJF yelled, "They loved me till you showed up." It's like, I love vulnerable MJF. Yeah. I mean, I'm not really all in on this go. I think he can get stale pretty quickly, but when he hits you with stuff like that, it's the stuff that makes me really know that he cares about this character and is as good as he claims to be in a lot of ways.
Yeah. And it was great when he said that, Excalibur said right away, oh, he said the quiet part out loud, you know? And that's great. You know, that when you have those vulnerabilities being shown by this smug prick of a heel, and he's actually like being driven to the point of, okay, you want to really fucking know? I'll say it. Yeah, man, this was just a great back and forth. Even when MJF brought up the fact that, you know, his wife, her kid, there was a prior relationship there, and he said that the next kid isn't going to be Will's kid either. It's going to be MJF's. That was real cold. You know, it could have even gotten colder because I thought he was going to go there. I thought he was going to bring up the fact that Will Ospreay's now wife is her former husband or boyfriend who she had the kid with was a wrestler named Ryan Smile, who was like a really good friend of Will Ospreay's. But he unfortunately committed suicide like 3 or 4 years ago. So I was kind of bracing myself like, oh, is MJF going to go there? But thankfully he didn't go that far.
I didn't know that, but
yeah. It is interesting. You know, MJF and Will Ospreay are going to have an amazing match. I liked how MJF at the end of this promo got the better of Ospreay by using his Dynamite Diamond ring. I like how that's like always a go-to weapon for MJF. You know, like
it's a good accessory to have.
I even think that like if he goes to another company at some point, he should still have something like that. Something like like some other diamond ring, maybe, you know?
Yeah.
It's just such a great weapon to be specific to one wrestler, you know?
Yeah. Because I don't recall anybody else using one.
Yeah. So that match is going to absolutely fuck, and we know that.
Yep.
So Hangman is in the back. Hangman actually said that he's in the Casino Gauntlet, so we are not going to be getting Hangman versus Jeff Jarrett at All In, and I'm happy about that.
Hallelujah.
I don't know how you feel.
I mean, I was into the idea of it. It didn't bother me, but I like him in the Casino Gauntlet better, and he's definitely going to win.
I do too. And I liked this backstage segment too because it brought back Evil Uno. And as everybody knows, you know, Hangman used to have an association with the Dark Order. And showing off just the callousness of Hangman's current character, he took out Evil Uno and, you know, just.
He's still not a heel. I don't care.
He is a heel. He is a heel.
He's still not a heel. Still not a heel. I don't care. He's a singularly focused individual.
Mm-hmm. I get it. I like that story that they're telling with him.
I do too. It's beautiful.
All right, next. Hell of a fucking match. AEW Continental Championship. Rainmaker Kazuchika Okada defends against Claudio Castagnoli. Yeah, what can I say, man? These guys just absolutely work their asses off against each other.
This should have been on the pay-per-view.
It should have been on the pay-per-view, but apparently the reason why it's not is because Claudio has a booking in Mexico.
For All In?
No, for like AAA or some shit.
No, I mean like
around the time of All In, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That sucks.
At least that's what's being reported. But yeah, this was amazing. I forgot that all Continental Championship matches have a 20-minute time limit. I like that element.
I do
just
too.
for the fact that it's like a TV title in that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was awesome. I expect there to be a rematch at some point between these two.
For sure.
Yeah. But of course, at the end of this match, the Elite came out and they were teasing to the fans that they were going to give 5 more minutes, but they're such sticklers for the rules and they're going to keep it. They're such fucks. I hate them so much.
They're awesome,
but they're supposed to be fucks though.
They're great. This is my favorite version of them. The billionaire, they're the fake shitheads. Billionaire EVPs, shitheads.
I don't know if this is my favorite version of them, but I respect your opinion. All right, so this was a really great 6-man tag team match, a lot of fun. I'll never get sick of watching FTR, man. You can say all you want about them, like outside the ring, but at least right now, I certainly enjoy their work a lot more than I do the Bucks.
That's because the Bucks aren't really working all that often. But
even so, I think that they're just doing some amazing work. I mean, I will
say I thought during this match I was impressed by FTR more so than usual. For some reason, I was like, oh, I'm kind of into what they're doing right now, even though I've been kind of down on them for a little while.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I guess the only thing about this is, you know, the classic wrestling booking. FTR and Darby got the better of these 3 guys. So Sunday is the opposite going to happen? You know, and then we had, Dan.
No, I was thinking, that is the pay-per-view formula, right? Like, go home show, stand tall, loses on the pay-per-view. But you know, I know that sometimes Tony avoids that, so we'll see.
Yeah, and then after this match, the Acclaim came out and basically just called out everybody and said that the belts are coming home. And they're certainly the team I'm going to be backing. That's for sure.
Yeah, me too, I think.
All right. Backstage with Will Ospreay and Renee, Bryan Danielson interrupted. Danielson says to Ospreay, I saw what happened out there. Will, do it. And Yeah, I think he's going to get fire in his veins because there was fire in the veins of Bryan Danielson in this next promo segment.
Yeah.
Face to face with Swerve and Danielson. Danielson just came out there and basically said he's the best fucking wrestler in the world. How dare you, Swerve, for questioning, what he is capable of. Swerve is going to have to damn near kill him. Oh my God, dude. I was yelling during this segment. Danielson got me so fired up, bro. I am lucky that I had the day off from work today because I would not have been able to sleep and get up for work the next morning. I was so fucking riled up from this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I really was. The only thing from this segment that I would have wanted, and I know that you would have wanted too, is if Nigel got the opportunity to really like talk shit to Danielson to his face to see like what would happen. If we're ever going to be getting a match between those two again, I'm just so curious about it. That's why I was so intrigued for this segment happening with Nigel being the moderator. Cause I'm like,
he was not haterish enough, man.
He was not.
The neck break kid is nasty work, but he was not haterish enough for my liking, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah, man. But Danielson just got me. He sold my ticket, bro. He sold my like I am shut up and take my money. That's my big takeaway from that show. Like that's the lasting impression I have is Danielson just like speaking from the heart. And that's when he's at his best, man. When he has such fire in his veins. And that's when you get like the most emotionally invested in Bryan Danielson. He would get that way during the Yes movement,
Well, I think that's a perfect guy. I think it's a perfect way to segue into our all-in preview for the weekend. So let's just do our classic who you got, who you want. I'm going to run down these matches real quick here, and we're going to talk about who we got. Mm-hmm. So first off on the pre-show, we have Chris Statlander and Stokely Hathaway versus Willow Nightingale and Ishii for the winner getting the choosing of the stipulation between Nightingale and Statlander at All Out. Eric, who you got?
Oh my God, dude. This is going to be hilarious. That's all I got to say. I got a very entertaining comedy match with Stokely and Ishii happening in this. And I think it would be crazy for me not to say Willow and Ishii. Sum of all parts. Like, who's the stronger team? Duh.
Obviously, but I still think Chris and Stokely pull it off somehow, some way.
Do you feel that way?
A heel is gonna. Well, I feel that way because a heel is going to pick a better stipulation, in my opinion.
Sure. But also, the confidence to which Statlander accepted this match makes me kind of think, like, does she have something up her sleeve?
Maybe, or she just doesn't care for.
Stokely was like, Stokely didn't want this match to happen, and then Statlander took the microphone and was like, "We accept."
Yeah, no, I remember, but I also just don't think she gives a shit about the well-being of her little friend.
Oh, that might be true too. Yeah.
All right. So next up in my order, which is probably not the way the card is going to run down, we have Timeless Toni Storm versus the Glamour Mariah May for the AEW Women's World Championship.
Oh boy, I am just like, this is a really tough one for me because I like both outcomes. I guess my heart says I want Toni Storm to win. I think it's going to be Mariah May though, because I think that's just how the story is naturally going to progress.
Unless they have a plan for All Out for them to run it back immediately. I think that it's going to be Mariah May as well.
Yes.
All right.
So
next up, we have MJF versus Will Ospreay for the American quote unquote championship. forever the All Atlantic. What?
Oh God, stop it.
So, I hear Osprey wins, right? Like I got Osprey.
Yeah, I definitely have Osprey. I mean, he's
I'm
in.
rooting for
This
Osprey.
is he cannot lose his first match at Wembley. To
It's
me,
not his first. It's not his first match at Wembley.
Did he wrestle? Oh yeah, that's right. He wrestled Jericho last year. Shit. Well, it's his first match as like an official member of the AEW roster at Wembley. To be fair,
Correct.
Yeah, I just can't see him losing in this environment, and I think that MJF and him are going to continue their feud. I think that Osprey is going to win, but MJF is still going to look strong. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, how Osprey lost but didn't look weak because he got punched with the ring.
Yeah,
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got Osprey. I want Osprey, and that's that's good enough for me. Next up on my list here, we have Jack Perry versus Darby Allin in a coffin match for the TNT Championship.
Yeah, I guess I want Darby to win, but I think it's going to be Jack Perry, and I think Jack Perry wins just because even within the last week he redesigned the championship.
It's so badass too. That video is cool as hell. I don't care what anybody says.
What crossed my mind,
ass.
Dude? You know what crossed my mind with these Jack Perry videos, these scapegoat videos? I can't help but think it's a little bit of a ripoff of the original Switchblade videos with Jay White before he went Bullet Club and stuff. Go back to those videos because I think that there's definitely a parallel between both of the characters and the vibe that you're getting from it.
Maybe, but that Switchblade character launched him into prominence. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So if it worked, maybe the formula is not the worst thing to copy. Yeah. But I got I got Jack Perry here too. Darby actually has never won a coffin match in AEW, ironically enough. So I think that trend continues and Jack Perry wins.
Yeah.
All right, next up on my list, I got Mercedes Moné versus Britt Baker for the TBS Championship.
All right, so I guess just my traditional wrestling fan heart, I want Britt Baker to win because she's the baby face here and she's facing such a detestable heel. And I think it's obvious that Monet retains.
Yeah, I think it is obvious too, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. But it's too short of a reign at this point. I think this feud goes on, though.
I think so, too. And I think that Monet is going to retain, but she's not going to retain without controversy.
No, it's going to be a dirty win somehow.
Yeah, somewhere. I think Camille might be playing a factor in the win here.
I would say so. And hopefully we see, some backup for Britt Baker in the form of anybody.
Hopefully Jamie Hayter.
I'd like to see Jamie Hayter venture out on her own. She's been gone for long enough.
What a great homecoming, though, it would be for Jamie Hayter to come out and make the save for Britt Baker at the end of this match in her home.
Oh, yeah. The place would fucking explode.
Yeah.
It would go bonkers. Absolutely.
I think that's going to happen. I'm just going to say it right now.
We'll see. All right. Next up in my format here is the Casino Gauntlet, which I don't think that they've announced everybody for, but so far it's Orange Cassidy, Mark Briscoe, Kyle O'Reilly, Hangman Adam Page, and Evil Uno is the confirmed entrance.
Okay. So this is I think we should approach this a little bit differently, like who you think you'll win, who is going to win, and then also who's like a mystery person that you think is going to be in it. Who do you think is going to be the Joker?
All right, so if we're going to do it that way, obviously I want Orange Cassidy to win because I'm an Orange Cassidy mark.
Mm-hmm.
I think Adam Page does win. And if I would have to pick a person that's going to come in and enter? Ricochet.
I think so too. I think it's going to be Ricochet.
I don't think it's Bobby Lashley.
That would be my plan B right there if Ricochet can't do it. But yeah, I think Hangman's definitely going to win this. And I guess of the people that are listed for this match, I want Kyle O'Reilly to win.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
You're a Kyle O'Reilly guy. I get it.
Yes.
All right, next up, last chance match for the FTW Championship, Chris Jericho versus Hook.
I am no good person in the world wants Jericho to win. Hook is going to win, and Hook should win. Hook all the way. If Hook doesn't win, we riot.
Okay, I'm with you. On to the next one. Next up, we have the triple threat match for the AEW World Tag Team Championships, Young Bucks, FTR, and the Acclaimed. So I'm saying that I want the Acclaimed to win. I like where their characters have been going. And I think that they do win somehow. But I think that it's not going to be without controversy. Mm-hmm. Not necessarily because how they win, but the Young Bucks are going to do something with their power to affect the outcome of this match, or at least try.
Yeah, that's my fear. I think if I was betting money, I would begrudgingly bet on the Young Bucks to win, because I just think I just have a sick feeling that they're going to end up winning this, even though they do not deserve it whatsoever. And yes, my heart is with the Acclaimed. And I laid out the scenario for you last week of an idea of a feud between FTR and the Acclaimed after this match happens, and I really hope that comes to fruition.
Yeah, it looks like the Acclaimed could end up being the ones that are the heels coming out of this one, though. But likable heels. Likable heels. Yeah. Likable heels. But I do think that the FTR's characters need freshening up, and them on a heel run would be Gucci.
I think it would.
All right. Next up, we had the 4-way London ladder match for the AEW World Trios Championships, the Patriarchy versus the Bang Bang Gang versus House of Black versus, I could spoil it for you.
Yeah, you can.
If you'd like. Okay. The match happens on Collision, which has already been taped. And it's going to be the Blackpool Combat Club members, Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta, teaming with Pac.
It's a hell of a team. And you know what's great about that is I wanted Pac to be in the BCC when it was first.
You did. And I recall you saying that. You were always pro Pac in the BCC.
Yeah. So
hey, maybe he does end up squirming his way in there, if and when Danielson retires.
Yeah, exactly. The only thing with this match is, have we seen a 12-man ladder match before? Like, there's to be a lot of moving parts in this shit.
I think that they should limit the number of ladders that they can use.
Yeah. I don't know.
Because with 12 different dudes going for ladders, it's going to be a fucking mess.
This is just going to be a lot to keep up with.
You think they open the show with this?
Maybe.
Or they open the show with Ospreay?
I could see them opening the show with the Casino Gauntlet.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't care what they open it with. Just going down this card, my nips are getting hard. But who you got winning?
I'm gonna go with the House of Black. Just because I want them to win. I think they are also the strongest team.
I also want them to win, but I think that would stifle a Malachi Black singles run, which I want. And I think the Patriarchy hasn't been champs long enough. I think they retain.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Main event time. Swerve Strickland versus Bryan Danielson in a title versus career match. I know who you want. Who you got?
I think it's going to be Danielson. And I think it's going to be Danielson because I don't think that this is going to be the last match that he ever wrestles. All right. Like, I think that he, like, yes, this run is going to be the end of his full-time career, but he's made an emphasis on saying full-time in-ring career. I think that he will still, like, come back here and there for matches. I think he wins this championship. I don't think he has a long reign as champion. I think that, like, it's no secret that he has said that he needs to get neck surgery before the end of the year. So, yeah, I think that Swerve is going to be right back in the title picture after this, but we're going to get a big moment here. Danielson's going to win it. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be the most amazing moment of Bryan Danielson's career since WrestleMania 30. And I'm here for it, and I can't wait.
All right, man. I have been so pro Bryan Danielson this past week that when Swerve's theme song comes on in my car, I skip over it. And I love me some Swerve.
Yeah.
But I am Danielson all the way here, man. I think he wins too. I think it's going to be really special.
Yeah, man. And
I wish it was last year, truthfully.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, things happen. I just a bigger crowd. That's all. But I think that 50,000 or 60,000 is going to sound like 100. And I think it's going to be really, really fucking special.
I think so too. And
I think you're going to cry. Are you going to cry? You're going to cry.
I might cry.
It's okay.
Danielson, the video package that they had for him last week too, that just made me think to myself, like, they're acting like he's dying. Like, why are they putting this out there? I think it's a red herring, honestly. Yeah. Like, making it look like he is going to be retiring. And he is going to retire. I just not on Sunday.
I'm with you, brother. I hope we're right.
All
right.
Yeah, so as you can tell in mine and Dan's voices, we are very excited for this show. Yeah. Apparently, the buy-in is going to be like fucking 2 hours long. I don't know how committed I am going to be for that. But
what time does the actual card start?
3 p.m., I believe.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it started at noon.
No, I don't believe so.
I'll find out. I'll figure it out either way. But something starts at noon. So I actually think the main card starts at 2 because the pre-show is 2 hours.
Yeah.
So.
Good. All
right. Well.
All right, brother. Well, okay. So the pay-per-view portion of the show will air live at 1 p.m. Eastern time on August 25th. 0 hour will begin at 11 a.m. Wow. This is awesome. Okay. Even earlier than we thought.
All right.
Hell yes.
Let's get some rest.
Yes, absolutely, guys. Find us on Instagram at Smarknado, on Twitter at Smarknado1. Leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, and go check out our link tree where we have our YouTube page and our What a Maneuver store. Dan, do you have anything left for us?
Nah, man. Just stay fresh, cheese bags.
And keep watching wrestling.